There are certain type matchups that I see over and over again that people think should be the case. And I'm here to tell you, no, they should not. Hello and welcome, my type matching leaves, to type matchups that you think might make sense, but they do not. Enjoy! Okay, let's start with one of the bigger ones. Steel should be weak against water because water makes metal rust. No. Steel specifically is resistant to corrosion and oxidation, aka steel does not rust. Okay, granted, there are steel types that aren't made out of steel. That's a problem with the naming, but we have named it the steel type specifically, so it probably has steel-like properties even if it's like made out of gold. Oh look, that also doesn't rust. Or made out of iron. Oh look, that actually does rust. But, you know, it is called the steel type, so I do not think that should be the case. Buck should resist rock instead of being weak to it. The logic at first sounds logical. As well, you lift a rock. Oh look, bugs live under the rock. And while that is true, now if you would like have a bug, let's say this pterodactyl is our bug, and then you would have a rock, let's say this bottle is our rock, while this might be the living situation, if you use it offensively, bug dead. Heavily dead. And, well, with the offensive type being super effective, that means, in the case of rock types, basically, very basically spoken, you throw rocks at them. You smash them with rocks. And that is not something a bug would ever survive. I did not catch that. Damn. No, I'm not gonna retake that shot until I caught it. This is way more funny. Now, again with the bug types, bugs should be weak against poison. And the usual comment I see about that is, well, there are pesticides and those kill bugs. But the thing is, we're talking about natural poison in animals here. And I think the way it was chosen was because a lot of bugs are actually poisonous. So, yeah, why would they be weak to that then? Granted, I do not think that poison types should be immune to being poisoned, because the poison of one animal is not the same poison as of another, so it still might work. But that is written somewhere over there. We're not talking about that right now. Poison, super effective against water. I half agree on that. The thing is that, well, if you put poison into water, yeah, the water is tainted, but also the poison is diluted, so weaker. And I would say that the dilution is the key part here. Because imagine you being a water type Pokemon. Hello, I'm a water type. Oh, you have poisoned me. But as I am a water type, I naturally dilute this poison and it's way less effective. So, I am not weak against it. I also do not quite resist it because it still is there and not good for me. But here we go. That's what a water type would say. What also should be the case is that ground should be weak against poison then, if water is weak against it, because don't try polluting the ground. Do not do that. But what happens if you pollute the ground, the earth? That's not a good living environment anymore, right? So, yeah, there's that as well. Okay, let's go back to steel again, which should be weak against electric. No, it does not make sense. You always, not you specifically, but like the one sitting next to you probably, like, I mean, look at them, really, look at them. They think, metal, electricity, conduct. Wrong! Metal does not conduct electricity. Well, that is also not correct, but not every metal conducts electricity, and steel is kinda bad at it. It doesn't conduct it very well. And on top of that, I wanna add that electric being effective against water also doesn't make sense. If you have pure water, that's a very bad conductor. What does conduct the electricity in water is the minerals in there. So we could argue, well, water types have minerals in their body that conduct the electricity. But like a fire type would have that too. That's what bodies are made out of, so I don't know, there isn't really an argument. Still, it kind of makes sense, water being weak to electricity, but actually, if you would talk about actual physics, no. Electric is a great type. That is not the thing I wanted to touch. That is. But it doesn't make complete sense in regards to how our world works. Pokemon isn't our world though, so nothing here matters in any way, shape or form anyway. It's fantasy and we're still talking about it because we enjoy it and actually it's fun, so let's move on. And with the last one, I wanna go with a classic one you probably already have heard. Fairy shouldn't be super effective against dragon. Because cute little fairies against the huge dragons with their dragon breaths, how are they super effective? It's really a folklore thing. Dragons in folklore, specifically in Western folklore, were always weak to magical things, often weapons being somehow strengthened by the magic of fairies. So, fairy magic is strong against dragons. And that's the whole reason why the fairy type is super effective against the dragon type. You might argue for a balancing reason that's not a good idea or whatever, but to be honest, with the type matchups, while balancing should definitely be considered, it shouldn't be the only driving force. Or else you get a bit of a mess like I made in that one video where I super balanced the whole type chart, giving every type equal weaknesses and equal strengths. Which was a ride, I tell you, but yeah, check that video out. I might put it in the end card, so yeah. And that's all I have to say about fairies against dragons. I think it's a great thing to do and also should give us the opportunity to get early dragon types, which sadly we rarely get, but I think we should, because you can counter them with fairy types. Like being able to catch a dragon type Pokemon before the third gym, but the third gym being a fairy type gym, huh? I think in Gen 4 you could do that with Gabite, but oh well. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Do you agree? What other type matchups should we talk about? Tell me in the comments below too, so we might do a follow-up on this video. Especially if we hit like 100 likes. I don't know. People do that, so I'll try it. Give this video 100 likes and I do a follow-up. And with that said, check out all the other links, especially check out Amiibo Talk. And yeah, I'm out. Bye me.